I, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, do solemnly swear
I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm the President's Guy, and today, as you can see, we're actually going to be delving into a very popular online game called New Campaign Trail. And what this game actually lets you do is go back and play through all the historical elections. So in this one, we're going to do 1860, but you can see they've got a whole bunch of different options. If you go down to the mod section here, there's a few other ones. You can pretty much do them all. But I figured for the inaugural edition of this, why don't we start with the election of 1860? Probably one of the most consequential in American history. And you know, you hear that all the time, especially recently. Every election is the most important one of your life. And sometimes it's true, a lot of times it's not. But this election is what leads, at least in this moment in time, to the Civil War, because it's the election of the first Republican that leads the South to see the writing on the wall that slavery is going to end eventually. And because of this, they secede over Lincoln's election. So let's see how we perform. I'm going to play as Lincoln and see, can I do better than him? And can I win more of the popular vote? Can I win more of the electoral vote? And we'll compare how we do at the end. All right, so Abraham Lincoln, home state of Illinois. And this makes the point about the Republican Party being united, and it was, and that has to do with the fact that it's pretty new. You know, Lincoln is only the second Republican, you know, to run for president. And the first one, of course, is Fremont, John C. Fremont, who would actually go on to be a general in the Civil War, that runs in 1856 and loses to Buchanan. And now we have Lincoln, who was not the original choice. You know, if I know I said this in the last video, but read Team of Rivals. I actually have a copy of it right here. Fantastic book. And it really talks about the convention and how Lincoln wasn't anybody's first choice. It's guys like Chase and Seward that are all vying for the presidency. And Lincoln just so strategically has his people kind of get him into the conversations, because Lincoln wasn't at the convention. And basically makes himself everyone's favorite second choice. So they're running through all these ballots, and no one's getting enough votes to get the nomination. And eventually everyone just says, well, none of us can agree. How about Lincoln? And that's how he gets the nominee, or the nomination. So historically, Lincoln did run with Hannibal Hamlin, a pretty inconsequential vice president, and of course would be replaced on the 64 ticket by the worst president ever, Andrew Johnson. But he's a senator from Maine. He was the governor, and he's opposed to slavery. And that's kind of what made him swap from the Democratic Party, because like a lot of Republicans, they're either former Whigs or they're defected Democrats, and the issue usually came down to slavery. He I think was a pretty good pick for Lincoln. Let's see what other options we have. Cassius Clay, also anti-slavery. He's from Kentucky, so he's from the South. Now, Lincoln's actually from Kentucky. You know, he's running from Illinois, but he's actually from Kentucky. And the question we have to decide with this choice is, are we attempting to get any voters in the South? Because Lincoln doesn't even appear on a lot of the ballots in the Cotton states. Clay's definitely more radical than Hamlin. He probably would not be the best choice. Because the question you have to ask yourself when you do this, are you going to try to go further to either side or be more of the center like Lincoln did? Let's see. And then we have Chase, former governor of Ohio. Lincoln would actually appoint him to the Supreme Court later on in 64, I believe, from Ohio. He probably, of everyone who ends up in Lincoln's cabinet, is probably the most abolitionist, probably the most anti-slavery. Maybe Seward, but probably Chase. Problem you would have in picking him is he would be vying for the top spot like he does in 64 when he explores running for office. I'm going to stick with Hannibal Hamlin. Winner take all, normal difficulty. All right. How should your party address the slavery issue during this campaign? Let's see. Let's see. We must not allow the expansion of slavery into any new states or territories. Now, this is the tack. This is the tack that Lincoln took. The opposition to the fugitive slave law, which there's already a clause for that in the Constitution, but there were a couple of fugitive slave acts, and one of them was a part of the Compromise of 1850, and it let slave catchers go into the North to retrieve their fugitive slaves. So it basically, states' rights is the issue for the South, and this issue being slavery, but states' rights goes out the window when it comes to in federal legislation in dealing with slavery and going to retrieve them. Our party must stand for abolition of slavery, support the idea of popular sovereignty, and that was proposed, I believe, by John C. Calhoun, who basically was it Calhoun? I think it was. Basically, the idea being let the people in the state vote for whatever they want, whether they want to be a slavery state or not. And this is where you get the Kansas-Nebraska Act, and where you get Bleeding Kansas, of the people flocking there trying to sway the vote one way or the other. Must acknowledge Kansas clearly desired to enter the Union as a free state. Defense territories, combat the expansion of slavery to extend permanent by the Dred Scott decision. Supreme Court. Oh, yeah. I think I'm going to stick with the original tact. Because remember, we're not playing this how we would make this decision today. We gotta think about it, with how Lincoln would have dealt with it then. Let's see. Nationally, Breckinridge and Bill. And see, if you look down here, you'll see all these states right here don't even have Lincoln on the ballot. So you can't even really worry about them. Up here, we're mostly going against Douglas, who was, of course, he beat Lincoln for the Senate seat in Illinois. And you got to remember, a lot of these states they're anti-slavery, but they're not necessarily abolitionist. They're in favor of tariffs. They want a railroad, homesteads, and the Homestead Act Lincoln would actually pass while he was president. So yeah, this is the tact we'll take for now. Okay. And that's the only option we get. Solid choice and a good party man. Campaign in this election. I will not leave Springfield, but I will make several public speeches and pronounce it to make my positions clear. Not at all. It would violate the norms of our times. In any case, we have a lead that we should preserve. I made my reputation by debating Stephen Douglas, who's extraordinary. So again, for people who know, after Lincoln wins the election, he doesn't do a lot of public speaking because he doesn't want anything he says to be misconstrued. And historically, he didn't leave Springfield. I think we'll go here. How aggressively should you attack the Southern Democrats and John Breckinridge in this election? Fantastic news for us. Let's not galvanize us even further by attacking. Now, this is true. This didn't win Lincoln the election because he still outperformed all of the other candidates combined, but the split in the Democratic ticket certainly helped. Oh, I think we're gonna go here. Just let you know, it appears that your opponents have consolidated into a fusion ticket in the states of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York. Hopefully you are far enough ahead in New York, Pennsylvania that this fusion ticket won't matter. Okay, let's see where we're at here. Okay, we're still doing pretty good. We're winning pretty much everywhere. Let's see, how aggressively should your party attack the Northern Democrats and Stephen Douglas? We can always point out a few inconsistencies. On large front is a winning platform. If we stick to it, we win. Sovereignty. In several states, we must have this fall. Let's go here. Maybe should have went a little more aggressively there, because this is a pretty partisan time in American history. To attack the constitutional unionists and John Bell. So you'll see a lot in this time. There's a lot of new parties that form. The Republicans form kind of as this amalgamation of mostly Whigs, but a lot of parties that formed throughout the 1840s and 50s, and they've kind of fell out and consolidated to form the Republicans. The constitutional unionists were John Bell's party. are one that run in the South. I believe these are the pro-union Southerners. They want to they want to keep slavery, but they're opposed to things like secession, and they want to stay in the Union. Anything would alienate former Whigs. Now that's true, because again, the Republicans are so new. You don't want to risk pushing out people because they've already got all this momentum behind them. Republicans are getting elected to office all over the country, and then also the Constitutional Union is like this option here says there's not much of a platform. They probably don't really deserve that much attention. Yeah, I'll probably go here. The support of transcontinental railroad. Now this is big because people are really in favor of this. See how we're doing. Oh, we're deepening. We're deepening. Now California and Washington, we got to watch out for. They don't want any expansion of slavery. They're not big into tariffs. So when it comes to tariffs, we might back off a little bit. See how we doing. Where's Pennsylvania? New York. How we doing in New York? We're up. New Jersey, we're doing good. Pennsylvania, we're up by about 11 points. Okay, so we're doing pretty good. Thousands of young men have formed paramilitary wide-awake clubs and marched to support Republicans. Should your party embrace the support, or is it too divisive? Let's go here. That permanently protect slavery in the southern states in return for no expansion. So this actually happened. So the South proposes, John Crittenden proposed a constitutional amendment, which basically said that slavery is constitutional. It can go wherever it wants, and it even actually had a provision that no constitutional amendments could mess with it in the future, which of course wouldn't work. As we know, the 21st Amendment repealed the 18th Amendment, and that was outright rejected because it was too far. And Lincoln offered the Corwin Amendment, which basically constitutionally would have protected slavery where it already existed, but didn't allow for its expansion, and that was not enough for the South, and they still seceded anyway. So this actually happened. And Lincoln was he was opposed to slavery, but he was a big fan of the Constitution and protecting property rights. Because here's the problem. We're trying to win the North, and they're not down with slavery. Let's go here. How much should your party emphasize the support for higher tariffs in this election? I think we're going to go here because, again, California and Washington, we don't want to lose because they're kind of moderate to mild on tariffs. So we don't need to beat the point home. I disagree. Let's see how we're doing. Oh, damn it. We're still up in Washington, but now we're losing in California. Now we're down in New Jersey. Let's see, electoral vote estimate right now. I mean, we're still winning. Probably should have went harder on the tariffs. I'm pretty sure Lincoln wins California. And we're down in Missouri. And we're barely winning in Illinois, which I expect that to be close because Douglas and Lincoln are both from Illinois. If any southern state was to secede, would you use military forces present to preserve the Union? Yeah, that's where we're going to have to go. How did that help? Okay, now we're doing better there. Yeah, we're not going to win Missouri. We're back up, and we widen the lead in Oregon. I'm sorry, I kept calling it Washington. In Oregon, Washington didn't exist yet. widen the lead in Oregon and California. Well, we're back in the lead. Okay, so that might have been the thing to do there. And we're pretty close in New Jersey. Okay. People are in favor of the Union staying together on this Dred Scott. And I just realized in the last video when I did the Ben Shapiro reaction, I called it the Plessy versus Ferguson decision. Not Dred Scott. Plessy versus Ferguson. That was the one that ruled separate but equal was constitutional. I think. Now I'm all flustered. What is your position on the Supreme Court's Dred Scott versus Sanford decision? We obviously cannot agree with this decision, but the Supreme Court lays down the law of the land, and we have little choice but to acquiesce. We'll go there. Oh, no. No. Oh, that was bad. I goofed. I done did goofed. Oh, wow. That just messed me up. And now Breckenridge is winning. Ah, no. Darn it. The Homestead Act. Even the Northern Support Homestead Act was issues we have a distinction to hammer on. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm back in the lead now. I think I'm going to end up underperforming Lincoln here. Do you have anything to say about the efforts of some to reopen the Atlantic slave trade? No. Breckenridge is winning again. God. Should the proposed constitution for the state of Kansas be accepted by Congress and Kansas admitted as a free state? Yes. Social equality of blacks in American society. Now, this is where Lincoln brilliantly walked the line and it gradually eased things forward and why he was so successful. We're going to stick here. Okay, that helped. I'd really like to get Illinois. I'm pretty sure Lincoln wins Illinois. And I want to get New York. What is your position on the passage of personal liberty laws by various states to flout the Fugitive Slave Act? Was the result of reason, compromise in Congress. Foreign immigration and nationalization. No, nothing point of view, otherwise it will. New party in our vote in the Midwest. Now, this is actually incredibly important. If you read Team of Rivals, when you're reading about Chase and Seward and all them, the Germans are actually a key piece for some of them in terms of their support. So let's go here. There, keep the German vote in line. Okay, so let's work that. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man, I am doing an awful job right now. Do you support the further expansion of the United States into Mexico, Cuba, or the Caribbean? Let's go. Let's see. Homestead slavery. Let's go there. I think I'm going to lose. I think I'm going to lose to Breckenridge. No. Now we gotta start trying to win some support. Chief William Seward and reconcile. Yes. Oh, this is going to be bad. For secondary education. Yeah. New York case for mistake. I'm gonna have to go to Illinois. All right, let's see what happens. Taking the Northeast, which I figured we would. We're not gonna get anything in the South, so don't even worry about it. If we get Illinois and Ohio, I think we're okay. Oh, we lost Pennsylvania. Breckenridge is my biggest concern here. I'm not that worried about Douglas. I think I'm going to lose to Breckenridge. Yep, I goofed up right in the middle there. Yeah, I think Breckenridge's got it. I mean, the Midwest. Oh, Douglas got Illinois. Dang it. I'm winning the popular vote. I don't think I'm going to get Oregon or California. Dang, 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 dang. Oh, yeah. 35, I got 1.6. Let's see, historically, I didn't lose that much. Ah, man. That's disappointing. Well, let's go back in here and see if I can do this better. Alright, so I went back and changed a couple of the ones that we kind of screwed around on. We'll see how we do again this time. Mostly, I kept the tariff one the same. I think that might have been a mistake, but we'll see how that goes. But we played it a touch even safer this time. It's already looking much better. I don't know if I'm gonna get California or Oregon, but I think we're gonna take is Breckenridge is already because we already got Pennsylvania. Yay, we won! Okay, so let's see how we did historically. So I still underperformed historically in the Electoral College, but I got almost 100,000 more on the popular vote. Interesting. Everyone, Breckenridge actually did better this time. Okay. Well, that's pretty fun. I hope to, hopefully we'll do some more of these in the future. All right, let's see. What can we do next time? So yeah, 2020, 2016, 2012, 1988. Maybe we'll do 88 next time and see if see if Dukakis can beat Bush. I doubt it, but we'll go. Maybe we'll do that one. Well, let me know what you thought about that, guys. If you enjoy the campaign trail videos, if you want to see more of them, this game is a lot of fun, and it's a good way to learn and to kind of view these historical moments in elections through the lenses of their times. So let me know what you think about him. If you'd like to see more of this, like, subscribe, and share the video around if you enjoy it. And until next time, guys, remember, never stop learning.